Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news at 6 on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses election rally in Jalandhar, praises alliance partner Prakash Badal for his contribution to the state, calls Congress a sinking ship. Congress Vice-President Rahul Gandhi declares Captain Amarinder Singh the party's chief ministerial candidate in Punjab, promises strong law against the drug menace in the state. Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto cancels meeting with US President Donald Trump in Washington, protests against proposal to tax its imports to pay for border wall with America. And Sania Mirza and her Croatian partner Ivan Dodig reach mixed doubles finals at the Australian Open. American-Czech pair of Bethanie, Mattek-Sands and Lucie Safarova win the women's singles doubles final. Prime Minister Narendra Modi began campaigning in poll-bound Punjab with a massive rally in Jalandhar. The Prime Minister is seen as the star campaigner for the SAD-BJP alliance in Punjab. The state is vital for the BJP, which faces stiff competition from the Congress and AAP this time after 10 years in power.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi was at his oratorial best as he addressed his first election rally in Punjab's Jalandhar. In his speech, the Prime Minister attacked the Congress party, calling it a sinking boat. He also accused the Congress of bad-mouthing the youth of the state.
अभी उत्तर प्रदेश में आपने देखा होगा, उनकी पार्टी महीनों तक गांव-गांव रथ लेकर के चलती रही, यात्रा निकाली। समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार के खिलाफ जितना बोल सकते हैं बोला, लेकिन उन्होंने देखा कि जनता तो स्वीकार नहीं कर रही है, ये परिवार में फूट पड़ गई है, बीच में अगर घुस सकते हैं तो घुस जाओ, वो उन्होंने अपनी मुंडी वहां मार ली।
The Prime Minister was all praise for the resilience of the people of Punjab, accusing other parties of bad-mouthing them for political games.
ये पंजाब की धरती वीरों की धरती है, शूरवीरों की धरती है, ये गुरुओं की धरती है, ये संतों की धरती है। ये बड़े दुख की बात है कि कुछ लोग निजी स्वार्थ के कारण राजनीति के अहम मुद्दों पर चर्चा करने का सामर्थ्य न होने के कारण किसी न किसी कारणवश इस चुनाव में पंजाब की आन बान शान पर दाग लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
The Prime Minister also touched upon the issue of the water of the Sindhu River, saying it belongs to India. He promised to bring it to Punjab if voted to power. The Prime Minister also focused on his development agenda.
और आने वाले 3 साल के अंदर 5 करोड़ परिवारों में गैस का कनेक्शन देने का काम पूरा करने. भाइयों बहनों, मैंने सपना संजोया है 2022 जब हिंदुस्तान की आजादी के 75 साल होंगे, हम हिंदुस्तान के हर गरीब को उसका अपना मकान हो, उस काम को पूरा करने के लिए चल रहे हैं.
Punjab Chief Minister Prakash Badal also addressed the rally before the Prime Minister, urging people to vote him to power for a third time. Punjab goes to polls on February 4th. Sham Sundar's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi campaigned in Punjab's Majita district ahead of the February 4th Assembly elections in the state. Congress State President Captain Amarinder Singh and new entrant Navjot Singh Sidhu were also present at the rally. Besides targeting the party's rivals in the state, Rahul also named the chief ministerial face of the Congress in Punjab.
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi on Friday officially announced Captain Amarinder Singh as the party's chief ministerial candidate for Punjab.
एक परिवार का हाथ, ट्रांसपोर्ट में एक परिवार की मोनोपोली। पंजाब में आपको कहीं भी घूमना हो, कहीं भी जाना हो, तो बादल परिवार को आप कहीं ना कहीं उनकी बस में आपको जाना पड़ेगा। इंडस्ट्री को खत्म कर दिया, पंजाब का भविष्य नष्ट कर दिया।
Addressing a rally in Majithar, Rahul came down heavily on the ruling SAD-BJP coalition. He blamed the state government for failing to act against the drug problem and its impact on the youth of Punjab. The Congress leader also charged the Badals for doing little for the farmers of the state.
जब भी किसान बादल देखता है, उसके दिल में खुशी आती। पानी गिरेगा, खेत में पानी आएगा, फसल अच्छी आएगी। मगर पंजाब में बादल पानी नहीं देते हैं।
Rahul also targeted the Aam Aadmi Party, saying that its national convener and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal wants to now become the Chief Minister of Punjab after cheating the people of Delhi. Rahul is on a 3-day visit to Punjab, where the Congress has been out of power for nearly a decade now. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party on Friday released its manifesto for the upcoming assembly polls in Punjab. The manifesto promises free laptops for students ahead of their board exams, subsidized meals costing just 5 rupees at canteens and cheaper electricity. The manifesto also mentions Jan Lokpal Bill in Punjab to fight corruption and making the state free of drug peddlers. Abolition of the property tax is also another promise that Arvind Kejriwal's party is making this time. Party leader Bhagwant Mann, along with the Punjab Affairs in charge Sanjay Singh, released the manifesto in Chandigarh.
25 लाख नौकरियां और रोजगार देने का संकल्प है। मैनिफेस्टो के अंदर हेल्थ के लिए 5 लाख रुपए तक का इंश्योरेंस और सबको फ्री मेडिसिन, गांव में पिंड क्लिनिक, मोहल्ला क्लिनिक का संकल्प है।
Over 60 villages in Uttarakhand come under the reserved forest area, which means locals living in these villages lack even basic survival facilities like electricity and local transport. Our correspondent Dilip Khan sends us this report from one such village in Ramnagar district, where lack of development remains a big issue apart from migration.
Carved out 17 years ago as a hill state from Uttar Pradesh, the state of Uttarakhand is still struggling to provide basic necessities to its remote forest villages. Over 1,800 voters live in the small Patrani village in Ramnagar district, which still lacks road, electricity, even a hospital. One of the promises which still remain unfulfilled is to get the status of revenue village for Patrani.
राजनीति पार्टियां यहाँ पे जो है आती है जाती है और आश्वासन बहुत सारे दे जाते हैं, तो लास्ट में इलेक्शन बीत जाने के बाद तो कोई मुड़ता नहीं है। फिर
क्यों हमें लोकसभा विधानसभा में यूज किया जाता है? हमें ग्राम, जिला, क्षेत्र पंचायत से क्यों ना जोड़ा जाता है? एकमात्र लोकसभा और विधानसभा के लिए हमें वोटिंग के लिए यूज किया जाता है और ग्राम पंचायत की वोटों के लिए हमें छोड़ दिया जाता है।
ज्यादातर तो हमें दुख है कि हमारे जंगल में शेर हाथियों का ज्यादा खतरा है और हमारे न कोई रोड है न कोई पब्लिक, जंगल जाना मुश्किल है हमारे लिए। बच्चों का भविष्य, हमारा बच्चा यहाँ से कहीं अच्छे स्कूल में नहीं पढ़ सकता, जंगल में उसे पार करने के लिए हमें एक आदमी उसकी फीस चाहिए।
All three candidates contesting from Ramnagar constituency have promised a dedicated bus service for the village. Meanwhile, this bus, which arrived in Patrani after weeks, only came to gather supporters for the candidates. Like previous elections, this time around too, voters are hoping for basic development for this hamlet.
यही हमारी स्थिति है। वोट के लिए तो हम रात दिन इधर उधर भागते रहते हैं, मगर इस गांव में कोई व्यवस्था है ही नहीं। हमारी मांग ये है कि हमें राजस्व ग्राम हमें चाहिए, जो हमें राजस्व ग्राम का दर्जा देगा, बस हम यही चाहते हैं।
उधर आ रहा, इधर आ रहा, चलो किस में जाओ, वहाँ गाड़ी का रास्ता नहीं है, पैदल आओ। क्या हमारे पैर इतने फालतू हो रहे हैं? नहीं, हमारा जो यहाँ वो करेगा, हम उसी को सब वोट भी देंगे और हम उसी का भला भी करेंगे। बस
इंदिरा से वन विभाग ने जो है हमारे ऊपर ऐसा षड्यंत्र रचा कि हमारे यहाँ पे तोड़फोड़ करने का, आक्रमण करने का, स्कूल, प्राइमरी स्कूल तोड़ दिया, महिलाओं के साथ हिंसा होती है, मारपीट, और हम लोगों को यहाँ से उजाड़ने का कि तुम यहाँ से हटोगे। उसके खिलाफ हमने कोर्ट में भी याचिका की थी, उसमें भी कोई खास उन्होंने भी कोई फैसला नहीं सुनाया, वो कागज वैसे ही डम पड़े हैं हमारे अभी तक।
The forest village status for Patrani deprives it of any developmental activities. The villagers are denied permission to make pakka houses, claim old, dried or felled trees in their courtyard, make fencing around their houses, or claim compensation for crop loss, as these areas are considered to be forest land owned by the forest department.
हम मानते हैं कि हम जंगलों से लगे हुए गांव हैं और जंगलों से जो लगे गांव हैं उनके अंदर बहुत सारी आज समस्याएं हैं। जंगली जानवरों का जो लगातार इंसानों पर और फसलों पर जो नुकसान हो रहा है, उसके साथ ही इस क्षेत्र के अंदर कॉर्बेट नेशनल पार्क के 10 किलोमीटर तक इको सेंसिटिव जोन घोषित करने की जो सरकार की कवायद है, उसमें हमारे हक हकूक लगातार खत्म हो रहे हैं।
इको सेंसिटिव जोन आप विश्व के लिए, देश के लिए क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। वहाँ के लोग सफर ना करें, उन लोगों को कुछ स्पेशल प्रिविलेजेस मिल जाएं, लोग खुश हो जाएंगे। उन लोगों के लिए कुछ सब्सिडाइज बिजली का प्रबंधन हो जाए या उनको सब्सिडाइज गैस सिलेंडर्स का हो जाए, जिससे कि उनको लगे कि देखो हमने सैक्रिफाइस किया, उसके बदले में हमको सरकार ने ये दे दिया।
Ramnagar district constitutes of 24 such villages where over 20,000 voters can easily decide the fate of any candidate. The issue of forest villages has once again gathered momentum ahead of elections. With Dilip Khan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the day after the Shiv Sena decided to go solo in the Maharashtra civic polls, party ministers met Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis to hand over their resignation letters. According to senior party leader and State Minister Ramdas Kadam, the move came after the Chief Minister's directive on removing religious photos from government offices. He also said that the Sena MPs have also decided to boycott the all-party MPs meeting called by Fadnavis ahead of the Parliament's budget session. After days of uncertainty over forging ties with the BJP for the upcoming civic polls in Mumbai and across Maharashtra, Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray yesterday announced that his party will go it alone. He, however, remained non-committal on whether the party will continue its alliance with the NDA government. Meanwhile, Fadnavis said that a change will happen in the state irrespective of whoever came along with the BJP.
कि तात्काल ये जो निर्णय लिया है, परिपत्र निकाला है, वो पीछे लीजिए, इसकी अमलबजावनी नहीं होनी चाहिए, ऐसा संदेश लेके हमें भेजा था। हमने ये सब मुख्यमंत्री जी को कहा। मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा कि ये जो निर्णय लिया गया था, ये ग्राम विकास खाते के माध्यम से लिया गया था, जेडी के माध्यम से निर्णय नहीं लिया था, तो ये निर्णय पीछे लिया जाएगा तात्काल, उसकी अमलबजावनी नहीं होगी, ये मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा है।
कोई भी विषय पर कर सकते हैं, किंतु पारदर्शिता के ऊपर समझौता नहीं कर सकते। गत 1 वर्ष से यह विषय लेकर हम मुंबई महापालिका के शासन और प्रशासन दोनों से बात कर रहे हैं।
The Shiv-Sena BJP alliance being breaking up is a eyewash just to divert the minds of the people from the corrupt practices which are going on in the Mumbai Municipal Corporation, in which the Shiv-Sena and BJP are equally responsible.
The decision of the Shiv Sena needs the BJP to think about why one of its oldest allies is leaving it.
उनको ये बयान जो उन्होंने दिए हैं कल कि अब हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी से कोई संबंध नहीं रखेंगे, तो उन्हें चाहिए कि केंद्र में और राज्य में भी वो साथ फौरन छोड़ दें, वरना जनता उनसे पूछेगी।
Well, here's a roundup now of news from across the country and nationwide. Bodies of 4 missing soldiers were recovered from the avalanche site in the Gurez sector of Kashmir. With this, the death toll in the tragedy has gone up to 21. The avalanche hit the army camp in Bandipora near the LOC on Thursday, trapping many soldiers. A high-danger avalanche warning was issued again on Friday for some avalanche-prone slopes of the state and Himachal Pradesh. The Supreme Court on Friday sought responses from the centre, state governments, union territory and the RBI to examine the likely reasons behind suicides by farmers, calling it a sensitive matter of larger public interest. The court has asked for a response within 4 weeks. The court was hearing a plea filed by an NGO. The Karnataka High Court on Friday issued a bailable warrant against liquor baron Vijay Mallya after he failed to appear before it in connection with a contempt of court case. Mallya had to appear before the court on January 19 this year. He was later asked to appear on Friday. Mallya failed to appear on both dates, even as his counsel said that he did not respond to their communication. Thousands of people cutting across political parties, caste and religion staged a protest in Karnataka demanding lifting of the ban on Kambala. Kambala is a traditional buffalo race held in the state's coastal region. They also demanded a ban on Peta, which had filed a petition in the Karnataka High Court to restrain the sport. The Karnataka High Court had passed an interim order restraining holding of the event in November last year. The next hearing in the case is scheduled for January 30th. Bollywood actor Salman Khan on Friday recorded his statement in a Jodhpur court regarding the black buck poaching case. He claimed the black buck had died of natural causes. The actor was asked 60-odd questions, which were a summary of the prosecution case against him and the evidence produced so far in the court. The 51-year-old actor was charged with killing 2 black bucks during an alleged hunt near Jodhpur while he was on a shoot there in 1998. Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Weather forecasting is a non-linear process, so therefore it cannot be solved by any exact method. We have to go by the numerical solution of the set of mathematical equations which govern the physics of formation of the cyclones. Compared to 1999, when 10,000 people died because of the Odisha super cyclone, with a similar cyclone of Cyclone Philene on 12 October 2013, which caused Gopalpur, only about 20 people died. If I compare, actually there has been a paradigm shift with respect to all approaches of the cyclone warning system.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra, Head of Cyclone Division, IMD, only on Rajya Sabha Television.
Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto cancelled his meeting with Donald Trump in Washington next week. This is in response to the US President's tweet that Mexico should cancel the meeting if it isn't prepared to pay for his proposed border wall. Earlier this week, Trump signed an executive order to move forward on constructing the border wall and repeated his claim that Mexico will be forced to pay for it. Meanwhile, Mexico condemned a US suggestion that it may impose a 20% tax on Mexican imports to pay for Trump's planned border wall. The Mexican foreign minister said such a tax will make their imports more expensive for US consumers who would actually end up paying for the wall.
Un impuesto a las importaciones que hace Estados Unidos de productos mexicanos no es una manera de hacer que México pagara por un muro. Sería el consumidor norteamericano quien estaría pagando, afectando la economía del consumidor norteamericano, de las familias.
Well, UN peace negotiations on the Syrian conflict that were slated to be held in Geneva from February 8th have been postponed till the end of next month. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that the announcement after meeting members of the Syrian opposition in Moscow. Lavrov said that the talks were a positive sign to establish peace in Syria. The two warring sides met the peace talks brokered by Russia and Turkey in Kazakhstan earlier this week. However, representatives from armed opposition groups refused to hold face-to-face talks with government representatives, citing truce violations. After intervention of mediators and 2 days of deliberations, Russia, Turkey and Iran agreed to establish a system to ensure compliance with the ceasefire.
Даже само объявление о встрече в Астане, потом подготовка к этой встрече и ее проведение уже послужили стимулом для наших коллег в Организации Объединенных Наций немножко активизировать свои действия и все-таки объявить о возобновлении.
And some more international news now. An aircraft carrying Gambian President Adama Barrow arrived in the capital Banjul on Thursday, days after his predecessor Yahya Jammeh fled into exile in Equatorial Guinea. Barrow smiled as he stepped out of a small plane and walked down a red carpet to be greeted by hundreds of diplomats and officials lined up to welcome him. Immediately afterwards, fighter jets from the West African ECOWAS regional force passed overhead as part of the celebration.
Gambia's President Adama Barrow returned to the country to assume power days after his predecessor Yahya Jammeh left to go into exile. President Barrow's plane touched down at Banjul Airport, where jubilant crowds waited to welcome him. Barrow, who has been in neighbouring Senegal, won elections in December. However, a handover was stalled when Jammeh, Gambia's president of 22 years, refused to step down. He left for exile last weekend after mediation by regional leaders and the threat of military intervention.
I'm here to welcome my president. Yeah, because we are very happy to be here today, welcoming the president of the Third Republic of the Gambia, which is Adama Barrow. So today is our happiest day. We are here to enjoy, and he will be here around 4 to happy to see us as we are preparing for him and welcome him in this country back.
Barrow, who was accompanied by his 2 wives and some of his children, was welcomed by military officials and senior members of his coalition government. He took the oath of office at his country's embassy in Dakar a week ago, and a multinational African force then entered Gambia to ensure his safe return home and Jammeh's departure. Hundreds gathered at the airport awaiting Barrow's arrival, with drummers and dancers firing up the crowds as Nigerian and Senegalese soldiers looked on. Gambians said they were looking forward to their freedom after 2 decades of Jammeh's iron-fisted rule.
Today I'm so glad because we are welcoming our new president, President Adama Barrow, and we are expecting that to create a lot of jobs for the youth, so that the employment rate will go higher and higher. So that we say no more bad way. We sit our country and work here. That's what we need, and that we are expecting from him also.
The UN envoy for West Africa, Mohammed Ibn Chambas, who briefed the Security Council on Gambia, stressed that the United Nations was working to bolster stability. Barrow will be staying at his own residence until further notice, while the State House, Jammeh's former seat of power, is assessed for potential risks. His first job is to deal with an internal crisis after it emerged that his choice for Vice President may be constitutionally too old for the role. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, some sports news now, where India's tennis ace Sania Mirza and her Croatian partner Ivan Dodig marched into the finals of the mixed doubles at the Australian Open. Sania is now a win away from her 7th major title. She has won 3 mixed doubles titles and 3 doubles Grand Slam titles. Meanwhile, America's Bethanie Mattek-Sands and Czech Republic's Lucie Safarova lifted the women's doubles title.
India's Sania Mirza and her Croatian partner Ivan Dodig reached the mixed doubles final at the Australian Open. The second-seeded pair beat the Australian pair of Samantha Stosur and Sam Groth in the semi-final with a 6-4, 2-6, 10-5 win. The Indo-Croat duo will next meet American-Colombian pair of Abigail Spears and Juan Sebastian Cabal in the finals.
Playing servers as big as Sam and Sam, it's such a toss-up. You have to focus on your serve, and that's what we were trying to do, especially in that super tie-break. We always knew it was going to be a tough match, but with the scoring system, it makes the margin of error is so small that even, one bad game on my serve and we were in the 3rd set. So we just tried to keep calm and tried to take the experience. We were down 4 match points last match. So for us, this is a new life. So we're happy to be in the final.
Really enjoyed to play Sania. We play now for 5th time, and we had last year also a good run here, and now in the final it's great for us. We are trying to enjoy on the court. Unfortunately, we have to always play these super tie breaks, but it's fine if we are winning.
America's Bethanie Mattek-Sands and Czech Republic's Lucie Safarova won the women's doubles final to lift their 2nd Australian Open title. The second-seeded American-Czech team came from a set down to beat Chinese-Czech pair of Peng Shuai and Andrea Hlavakova 6-7, 6-3, 6-3.
And there it is.
This was their 4th Grand Slam title together. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's it on this edition of the newscast. Have a good evening.